It's July 1998. The Citars Bravo team is sent to investigate cannibalistic murders in the Arklay Mountains. Their helicopter crashes, leading rookie medic Rebecca Chambers to a stalled train, the Ecliptic Express, where she teams up with escaped military prisoner Billy Cohen. The train is infested with zombies and mutated leeches. After the train crashes into an Umbrella training facility, Rebecca and Billy work together to survive a gauntlet of biological weapons. They are stalked by a mysterious young man who controls the leeches with his singing. The Lech Man is actually a rejuvenated James Marcus, a co-founder of Umbrella who was murdered by Wesker and Birkin years prior. His queen leech entered his corpse, merged with his DNA, and resurrected him with a vendetta against Umbrella. Marcus transforms into a giant queen leech. Rebecca and Billy realize it's weak to sunlight. Billy distracts it while Rebecca opens the roof shutters to burn it. They destroy the facility. Rebecca lets Billy go free, reporting him as officially dead to the authorities. She then heads toward the nearby Spencer mansion to find the rest of her team, leading directly into the start of Resident Evil 1. Immediately following the events of RE9 STRS Alpha Team, including Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, flies in to find the missing Bravo team. After being attacked by mutated dogs, they flee into the nearby Spencer mansion, only to find the entrance locked and their pilot gone. The team realizes the mansion is a front for an underground Umbrella research lab. You navigate death traps, solve bizarre puzzles, and fight the living dead. Along the way, you discover that your captain, Albert Wesker, is a double agent working for Umbrella. He lured Stieris there to collect combat data on the monsters. Wesker reveals the ultimate bioorganic weapon, BOW, the Tyrant. In a classic villain monologue moment, Wesker releases the creature, but it immediately turns on him, seemingly killing him. You fight the Tyrant, first in the lab, and then on the helipad. You finally blow it to bits with a rocket launcher dropped by your pilot, Brad Vickers. The mansion is destroyed in a self-destruct sequence. The survivors, Chris, Jill, Barry, and Rebecca, escape via helicopter as the sun rises, vowing to take down Umbrella. Set during the same Raccoon City outbreak as Resident Evil 2, the story follows former STRS member Jill Valentine as she attempts to escape the crumbling city. She is hunted relentlessly by the Nemesis, a highly intelligent Umbrella bioweapon specifically programmed to eliminate all remaining STRS members to keep the company's secrets quiet. Along the way, Jill teams up with Carlos Oliveira, a mercenary for the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service, UBCS, who was sent in to rescue civilians, but was ultimately betrayed by his own company. After Jill is infected with the T virus, Carlos retrieves a vaccine to save her life. The pair eventually discovers that the US government plans to sanitize the city with a nuclear missile to contain the infection. In a final showdown at a waste disposal facility, Jill destroys the heavily mutated Nemesis and escapes via helicopter just seconds before Raccoon City is wiped off the map. 2 months after the mansion incident, a T-virus outbreak turns Raccoon City into a zombie-infested wasteland. Rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy and college student Claire Redfield, searching for her brother Chris, meet and head to the police station for safety. They eventually split up. Leon teams up with a mysterious spy named Ada Wong, while Claire rescues a young girl named Sherry Birkin. They discover the outbreak was caused by William Birkin, an Umbrella scientist who injected himself with the G virus to avoid being assassinated by his own company. As Birkin mutates into a series of increasingly grotesque monsters, he relentlessly stalks the protagonists. Simultaneously, Umbrella drops a Mr. X Tyrant into the city to retrieve a virus sample and eliminate any witnesses. In an underground lab, Leon and Claire defeat the mutated Birkin, destroy the facility, and escape on a train just before the lab explodes. Leon and Claire part ways, both vowing to continue the fight against Umbrella. 3 months after Raccoon City, Claire Redfield is captured while infiltrating an Umbrella facility in Paris and sent to a prison on Rockford Island. The island is suddenly attacked and infected with the T virus. Claire teams up with a fellow prisoner, Steve Burnside, and discovers the island is run by the eccentric Alfred Ashford, who is obsessed with his cryogenically frozen sister, Alexia. Midway through, Chris Redfield arrives to rescue Claire, only to encounter a resurrected Albert Wesker, who now possesses superhuman strength and is seeking the T. Veronica virus. The story shifts to an Umbrella base in Antarctica, where it is revealed that Alexia Ashford has been awake for years, having successfully bonded with the T. Veronica virus to become a powerful mutant queen. Steve is tragically infected and dies, and Alexia is ultimately destroyed by Chris using a specialized weapon called the linear launcher. As the base self-destructs, Chris and Claire reunite and escape, while Wesker survives to continue his schemes from the shadows. 6 years after Raccoon City, former cop turned government agent Leon S. Kennedy is sent to a remote Spanish village to rescue the U.S. President's daughter, Ashley Graham, who was kidnapped by a mysterious cult. Leon quickly discovers the villagers are not zombies, but ganados, humans infected by Las Plagas, an ancient mind-controlling parasite. Leon and Ashley are both captured and injected with the parasite by the cult's leader, Osmond Sadler, who plans to send Ashley back to the U.S. to infect the president and take over the country. Leon fights through the village, a massive castle owned by the eccentric Ramon Salazar, and a high-tech island research facility. Along the way, he is aided by Luis Serra, a former Umbrella scientist seeking redemption, and Ada Wong, who is working undercover for Albert Wesker to steal a parasite sample. After defeating his former mentor turned traitor, Jack Krauser, Leon uses a specialized machine to remove the parasites from himself and Ashley. In the final battle, Leon kills a mutated Sadler with a rocket launcher provided by Ada. Ada escapes with the parasite sample in a helicopter, while Leon and Ashley flee the self-destructing island on a jet ski. Jill Valentine and her partner Parker Luciani as they board the Queen Zenobia, a ghost ship in the Mediterranean Sea. They are searching for Chris Redfield, who reportedly went missing while investigating the bioterrorist group Il Veltro, the organization responsible for destroying the floating city of Terra Grigia with a virus. As it turns out, the distress signal was a trap. Jill and Parker find the ship crawling with ooze, mutants created by the new T-Abysses virus. Meanwhile, Chris and his partner, Jessica Sharawat, are actually in the snowy mountains, tracking Veltro's base. The two teams eventually unite on the ship and discover that the entire incident was orchestrated by Morgan Lansdale, the head of the FBC, Federal Biohazard Commission, who collaborated with Veltro to justify his agency's power and funding. In the finale, Jill and Chris dive into the wreckage of a sunken ship to retrieve video evidence of Lansdale's conspiracy. They defeat a heavily mutated Veltro leader, Jack Norman, expose Lansdale's crimes, and witness the FBC being disbanded and absorbed into their own organization, the BSAA. In 2009, Chris Redfield, now an agent for the BSAA, travels to Kajuju, Africa, to stop a black market bioweapon deal. He teams up with local agent Sheva Alomar, only to find the populace infected with a new, more aggressive version of the Las Plagas parasite. Chris is also secretly searching for his old partner, Jill Valentine, who was presumed dead after a confrontation with Albert Wesker. The duo discovers that the pharmaceutical giant Tricell has taken over Umbrella's research and is developing Ouroboros, a virus designed to force human evolution by killing the weak and granting the strong godlike powers. They eventually find Jill, who has been brainwashed by Wesker via a mind control device on her chest. After a tense battle, Chris and Shiva manage to remove the device and free her. In the final confrontation, Wesker attempts to release Ouroboros into the atmosphere using a stealth bomber. Chris and Shiva crash the plane into a volcano and weaken Wesker by over-injecting him with his own stabilizing serum. Wesker merges with the Ouroboros virus for a final showdown in the lava, where Chris and Shiva finally kill him with dual rocket launchers. In 2013, a massive bioterrorist attack using the new C virus hits both the US and China. The story is told through four intersecting perspectives. Leon S. Kennedy and Amp, Helena Harper. After being forced to kill the infected US president, they tracked the conspiracy to China, discovering that National Security Advisor Derek Simmons orchestrated the outbreak to maintain global stability. Chris Redfield and Amp, Piers Nevans. A traumatized Chris leads a BSAA squad into China to hunt down Ada Wong, later revealed to be a doppelganger named Carla Radams, who murdered his men. Jake Muller-Knapp, Sherry Birkin. Jake, the mercenary son of Albert Wesker, possesses rare antibodies needed for a cure. They spend the game fleeing the Ustanag, the giant bioweapon sent to capture him. Ada Wong. The real Ada works from the shadows to stop Carla Radam's plan to destroy the world with Neo Umbrella. The plot culminates in China, where Simmons is killed after mutating into several giant beast forms. In an underwater lab, Chris and Piers fight the ultimate C-virus weapon, House. Piers injects himself with the virus to save Chris and dies destroying the facility. Leon and Helena are cleared of their crimes, while Jake escapes to continue fighting bioterrorism in secret. In 2017, civilian Ethan Winters travels to a derelict plantation in Dulvey, Louisiana, after receiving a message from his wife Mia, who has been missing for 3 years. He is quickly captured by the Baker family, Jack, Marguerite, and Lucas, who have been mutated into sadistic, immortal monsters with regenerative powers. While navigating the estate, Ethan is aided by the Baker's daughter, Zoe, who explains that her family and Mia are infected by a mold-based bioweapon called E001. The source of the infection is Evelyn, a biologically engineered young girl who can psychically control anyone infected by her mold. Evelyn's obsession with having a family is what drove her to enslave the Bakers and Mia. Ethan eventually discovers a hidden lab in a salt mine where he creates a toxin to neutralize Evelyn's influence. In the final battle, Evelyn transforms into a massive, wall-sized mold monster. Ethan destroys her with a powerful anti-bow pistol dropped from a helicopter. He is rescued by a tactical team led by Chris Redfield, now working for a reformed Blue Umbrella. 3 years after the events in Louisiana, Ethan Winters is living in Europe with Mia and their newborn daughter, Rose. The peace is shattered when Chris Redfield suddenly appears, kills Mia, and kidnaps Ethan and Rose. After their transport crashes, Ethan finds himself in a snowy, remote village ruled by 4 monstrous lords and their supreme leader, Mother Miranda. Ethan discovers that Miranda has split Rose into 4 flasks to use in a ritual to resurrect her own daughter, who died a century ago. Ethan systematically hunts down the lords: the giant vampire Lady Dimitrescu, the doll maker Donna Beneviento, the mutated Moreau, and the magnetic engineer Heisenberg. Along the way, Ethan learns that Miranda's megamycete mold was actually the original inspiration for Umbrella's founder, Oswell Spencer. The major twist reveals that Ethan actually died back in Louisiana during RE9 and has been a sentient mold man ever since, which explains his incredible healing abilities. After defeating Miranda and rescuing Rose, Ethan's body begins to crumble. He stays behind to detonate a bomb that destroys the megamycete and the village, sacrificing himself so Chris, Rose, and a rescued Mia can escape. Years later, a teenage Rose visits Ethan's grave, showing she has developed her own unique powers from her father's DNA. After soaking in all that chaos, from the humble origins of the T-virus in the Arklay Mountains to the grand sacrifice of Ethan Winters, you are officially caught up. With the Ashford family secrets, Wesker's God complex, and the fall of the megamycete under your belt, you'll be more than ready to step into whatever bioorganic nightmare awaits when Resident Evil 9 finally arrives.